Oregonian.
Joe, just how do you feel about receiver blocking as a whole outside of Johnny and maybe Chris Hudson at times? I know you got the one from Troy there on the touchdown by Dante as well. There's one instance last week, but just as a whole, these first 3 weeks, how do you feel about the group and blocking in particular?
Yeah, it's a continued point of emphasis, from Coach Cristobal and Coach McClendon, blocking on the perimeter. Always talk about turning short runs into long runs and long runs into touchdowns. I do a great job outside with our, fundamentals and technique with our hands, keep them inside and finishing blocks. As you mentioned, I think Johnny's doing an unbelievable job and continue to work on it during the season.
Alvaro Torres, end zoners.
Hi, Coach Moorhead. I hope you're having a great day. My question is, you went 3 for 10 on third down today, this Saturday, but still managed to be dominant on all aspects of the game. Is that something to be concerned about?
I'm doing well, Alvaro. Thanks for asking. Hope you're doing well too. We had gone into the game with a pretty high third down conversion percentage. Through the first two, certainly 3 of 10 is below our standard. I think we were a little bit better on fourth down, but I think it was a situation where the yardage to go was a term I use, behind the sticks. When you're going to be converting when you're third and short and third and medium, and you start getting into those longs and extra longs, it makes it hard to get those conversions. But yes, certainly an area where we were not at our best, did not meet our goal, and something we need to improve upon heading into the Arizona game.
Zach Neal, Ducks Wire.
Coach, you had true freshmen catch 10 passes on Saturday. Is that something that really surprises you, or something that you've seen much of in your coaching career?
Yeah, that's a high number. I think as we look through the numbers, five different running backs carry the ball, and if you include AB, that makes it 6 with a quarterback. I think there were 11 people who caught a pass, and then 6 different people scored a touchdown. And as you mentioned, amongst those were the true freshmen. So off the top of my head, I cannot recall a situation where that occurred, but I think it is a very positive sign for this season and for the future to have. And I think it, when these classes were signed, I think we all knew that there was an opportunity for young guys to play early and make a positive contribution. So I think it's, great to see the young guys making plays out there.
Eric Scopel, 247 Sports.
Coach, your assessment of both Ty and Jay and how they performed. I understand Jay was one series, so not a huge sample size. And then just how that, I guess, position battle played out this fall. What were some of the determining factors to go Ty over the others?
Yeah, first part, as a program and in the quarterback room, those guys all prepare as if they're 1 or 2 plays away. And when they enter the game, there's a certain standard of performance that's expected of them. So, starting with Ty, I mean, he's a particularly cool customer, and confidence is bred through talent and preparation. So, there wasn't any wide eyes. When he was told he was entering the game, he was very poised, cool, calm, collected. I think went 6 of 9 through 2 touchdowns, operated the offense very well. So, I was excited to see him get an opportunity to perform. And then Jay went in and led a touchdown drive and operated the offense. So it was good to see, 2 and 3 go in there and, continue to have the offense continue to produce from a decision-making standpoint from fall camp. I mean, both of the guys did a very, very nice job. Todd just did the things that we were looking for a little bit better. And obviously that competition will continue as it does at every other position.
Matt Preem, 247 Sports.
Yeah, Joe, last year the offense had, I think, 16 turnovers, and this year it's only 1 through 3 games. I realize it's a pretty small sample size, but what do you just attribute that kind of turnaround to, and just how well it's paid off for you guys?
Just told a pitcher they're throwing a no-hitter, so appreciate that. Hopefully that wasn't a damn jinx there. But no, attribute it to second year in the offense, quarterback's decision making, and knowing when to throw it where it needs to be. making aggressive but not reckless decisions, and knowing that a throwaway or taking a sack is better than turning the football over. So that's number one. And then, we've worked a different ball security circuit throughout spring ball and fall camp, just relative to, us, keeping the ball high and tight and not putting that thing on the ground. So I think that's probably the two things that, attribute to our ability to protect the football right now, and need it to continue against a very good Pac-12 opponent.
James.
Joe, looking ahead to this week, Roland Wallace, 4, might be one of the best corners in the league. He just happens to be on a rebuilding team situation right now. What makes him so capable, and particularly in basically a lockdown corner where I would imagine against them, a lot of teams are just going to avoid even throwing his direction because of some personnel elsewhere. But, what do you see from him that makes him a challenge?
I think his length, I think his physicality in the run game and at the line of scrimmage. And I think he's got very good short distance quickness and ability to redirect. And then the scheme that Coach Brown utilizes gives him a lot of opportunities to press at the line of scrimmage and challenge the receivers. A lot of press man to man, a lot of cloud coverage. So I think he's got a lot of talent, and I think that the things that Coach Brown's doing with him, are taking advantage of his very impressive skill set.
Max Torres, Ducks Digest.
Coach, you've obviously worked with your fair share of quarterbacks at previous stops. Ty gets in, understandably a lot of buzz around him. What do you see from him that you maybe don't see in your typical freshman at this level?
I mean, he's incredibly talented. I think that's the first thing, and everyone probably had a pretty good idea of that. Throughout the recruiting process, all of the 5 stars were earned, and he had a very impressive resume as a high school quarterback. But the thing that strikes me about Ty is his commitment to preparation and the mental aspect of it. I think his maturity and I think his poise. I think those are things that all stand out that you really don't see in a lot of true freshmen in any position. But he came at mid-year committed to learn what we're doing, understand the what's, the whys, and the hows. And I think he brings a very even-keeled but yet competitive demeanor to the room and to the offense. So hopefully continue that and see him improve every week.
Alvaro.
Well, Coach, what are your thoughts on CJ Bordell so far after last season's injury, and how much does a player of his caliber open up the playbook?
Yeah, CJ is doing a fantastic job in the run game and pass protection, also catching the football. I've said before that the success of our offense is contingent upon our ability to run the ball successfully. And between he and Travis and then the other running backs this week, I think we've been able to do that. And Coach Masher does a good job, mixing and matching those guys and getting them in on plays to fit their skill set. But he's having the type of season I think that we all expected. Running physically, breaking plays open when he gets to the second and third level. And, hopefully we continue to, utilize his skill set and he stays healthy and productive.
Eric Scopel, 247 Sports.
Coach, when a player like Dante Thornton, I know it's just one play, but he has an explosive play and kind of maximizes that opportunity. Can that start as maybe a jumping off point for more opportunity or a bigger role in an offense, or does that have to be determined, by practice repetition?
No, I mean, I think to have your first college, touch be a long touchdown, I think that was a big confidence boost for Dante. And he had a very nice spring ball and a good fall camp, and is in a receiver room with a lot of talent. And Coach McClendon has done a phenomenal job developing, the entire room, but in particularly those young guys. And got to see a little bit of Isaiah, but Dante, he works hard during the week, understands what he's doing, and as he continues to develop and earn his repetitions in the game, and the ball comes to him, I think you'll see more plays along those lines.
We have time for 2 more. Jared Denny, Scoop Duck on 3.
Hey, Joe, to piggyback on Eric's question, what specifically are you guys kind of hoping to see Dante improve on and progress in as his freshman season goes on?
I'm sorry, can you say that one more time, please? I didn't.
Oh, what are you hoping to see Dante Thornton continue to improve and kind of progress on it as his freshman season continues?
No, I think all those, the three young guys, probably the same thing, understanding of the offense and not just what plays we're running, but, how they adjust for certain coverages and, just, I'd say as much understanding our offense as, improving their level of understanding of, defensive coverages and how routes adjust and things like that. As James mentioned earlier, continuing to be physical at the point of attack in the run game, particularly on perimeter runs. But I'd say consistency and experience. I think they'll, like I said, all continue to improve, with more practice reps and more game opportunities.
Last question, James.
So there's a really small sample, I understand, but you guys did really well in the middle eight last year. And this year it's been a little bit of a mixed bag. Obviously you had the score against Fresno, but then they drove down the score. And then the third quarter was CJ slipped up on the 4th and 1. Ohio State, there was the penalty, obviously opened the third quarter with a touchdown. This past week, you drive, but then the 2 sacks and then start the third quarter with a dead drive before ultimately scoring. You've put yourself in position. That's the good part. The execution just hasn't always been there. I realize it's only 3 games. How do you evaluate those opportunities that you've had to really put teams away in those moments and capitalize momentum that at times you eventually did, just not necessarily in the middle eight?
Yeah, I think I was looking at the scoring by quarter the other day, and it's pretty balanced along all 4 quarters. I think we may be the highest in either the first or the fourth. But yeah, coming out of the locker room, making sure we're identifying what the defense is doing, how they're trying to attack us, and making good adjustments, and then coming out and putting those little tweaks or adjustments to work. But yeah, what you said is accurate. There's a certain point in the game when if you want to equate it to a boxing match, that you have somebody on the ropes, and you don't want to let them get back in the middle of the ring, and you don't want the bell to sound and them get back in the corner. So we, at a certain point, we got to develop that ability when we got someone in the corner to end it, and hopefully we continue with that as the season progresses.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate your time.
Appreciate it, man. Y'all have a great one.